Hey guys, Kurgan here. In this video, I'm going to be going over the talents you should be taking in Mythic Plus for Shadow Priest in 7.15. 7.15 came with a lot of changes to Shadow Priest, and really one of the big positive things is that we are now a lot better in dungeons, specifically Mythic Plus, because beforehand we were really kind of terrible, especially with big packs. And it was really so bad that most of the time people just asked you to go healer instead. But this patch really helped alleviate a lot of the problems that Shadow had. And although we're not top tier, we're not going to be beating out the Frost DKs or the Fire Mages on AoE. We still can do some decent damage on packs, so it's really a big improvement. Alright, so let me get into the talents. So if you're just looking to quickly grab the talents and then not really care about why you take the talents or maybe some of the options, these are the talents I suggest you take. So Twist of Fate, Mind Bomb, Lingering Insanity, SL or Sandline, I'm not really sure how you meant to say it, so I'm just going to call it SL, Misery, Shadow Crash. Those are that will work for everything. But there are options, and I'm going to go over each talent row now, and I'll tell you what you shouldn't take and what you can take. So level 15, Twist of Fate really is the only option here. The reason being that Fortress of the Mind and Shadow Word Void are really only single target talents, and Twist of Fate competes for them on single target and also increases your AoE. So really there's no competition at all. Level 45 trait, you should always take Mind Bomb. There's no reason you take Psychic Voice or Dominant Mind. AoE stuns are super important in Mythic Plus. Level 60 talent, the default choice I would say is Lingering Insanity. However, you can take Void Ray. I can't tell you which one will do overall more DPS, but they are both definitely viable. Really, if you're unsure, take Lingering, but if you really want to use it, Void Ray is fine. Level 75, you have two choices on this row. You have SL or Auspicious Spirits. Ideally, you're going to take SL, but if you have quite high crit, then Auspicious Spirits is still good to take. And if you just really want to take AS, it's still decent. Level 90, the two choices are Power Infusion and Misery. Now, these are both good abilities. Misery, if you didn't know, it's the new talent. It now it places Shadow Word Pain when you cast Vampiric Touch, so it means you only have to cast one dot to get both of them on. And I really didn't think this talent was going to be good until I actually tried it out in a dungeon. And for dotting up a relatively large pack, so 5 or 6 mobs, you really can get your dots up and start AoEing much sooner than before. And it actually makes a huge difference. So what the advice I'd give for lower Mythic Plus or maybe teaming Mythic Plus, take Misery. For higher level or Tyrannical, where single target DPS is more important, or you're pulling smaller packs, I would take Power Infusion. For your 100 talent, the two viable ones, well, actually, technically they're all viable, but the two I'd advise you taking is either Legacy of the Void or Shadow Crash. I think the same concept as the 90 row should be taken for these as well. Shadow Crash is really good for large packs, and if there's lots and lots of trash, because obviously it's a big AoE spell, and it actually got buffed in terms of damage, so it's even better than it was before 7.15. So take that. However, the only negative with Shadow Crash is that it has such a slow missile speed that if your tanks aren't really keeping the mobs still, it can sometimes be really hard to land properly. And also if the mobs don't bunch up properly, like an example is in Nel's Lair, you have the pelters that always disengage backwards. Sometimes in those situations, Shadow Crash isn't the best. So Legacy of the Void is still a good choice. And I would definitely take Legacy of the Void at very high Mythic Plus, and especially if it's Tyrannical. So that sums up the talent choices, it's important to note that the balance between the viable talents, which I pointed out, is relatively close. And even though some perform better in other scenarios than the others, mainly what it comes down to is personal choice. So really try some of the talents and then get a feel for it and decide what you think is best and play that, because it'll get you good results. If you are interested in seeing some gameplay with the new talent setup, I will be uploading an Eye of Ashara +7, which I did the other day, and I managed to do some good damage. And I'll have the link in the description below once I've uploaded it. If not, just check on my channel. I will have it up sooner rather than later. If you found this useful, please leave a like on the video. It's much appreciated, and thank you very much for watching. See you guys.